Hey, let's go ahead and do a reading. New moon in Pisces. We have a new moon in Pisces coming up. We have Saturn, Neptune, we have the sun. We've got a lot of aspects to Pisces. So, what is Pisces? Pisces is a very spiritual house. It's the house of letting go, it's the house of religion, it's the house of addictions, it's the house of prison, mental health. It's the house of escapism. So there's a lot under the umbrella of Pisces, and not all so bad. Some of it is like creativity, music, poetry, painting, art, artists, healers, spiritual gurus, like all of those things fall under Pisces. So we have a new moon coming up and we have Saturn there. As well as Neptune, and it's going to be making some aspects and kicking off the eclipse season for Pisces and Virgo access. So, with that said, I feel like this could be like a new spiritual path for you, a spiritual opening. Maybe for some of you, you're going to be deciding, I'm going to let go of some type of addictions. It could be a codependent relationship. For some of you, it could be about walking away from a codependency. For some of you, unfortunately, you might find out that somebody's been cheating on you all along. Because Pisces can also be clandestine affairs, third party relationships, those types of things. Funny enough, I did mention the new moon, or the North Node going into Pisces, and we have the North Node here. So this is about stepping out of your comfort zone. There's going to be a fiery climax, okay? We have this full moon in Aries card, and this one is saying like this new moon that is coming up. I've been, telling everybody this is going to be March Madness. March is going to be a month that you never forget for the rest of your freaking life. Like, just like when COVID, January 2020, actually it started in 2019 is when it started trickling in, but January 12th, 2020 is when we had that triple conjunction in Capricorn, which kicked off COVID. So, you're going to remember March in the same aspect because there's going to be a lot that's coming to the surface that's going to blow people's minds, and it's going to take you out of your comfort zone. I'm predicting that we could end up having some, hearing about people going to prison finally. You're going to hear about, the dissolving, because again, Pisces rules like it's kind of like a gas bubble, right? And so whenever you try to reach out and touch it, it just dissolves, right? So with that said, I do feel like you're going to see, systems dissolving. You're already witnessing that, but I think it's going to come at such a higher degree. I do believe financially we are going to be coming into some new money, digital currency type thing, not just cryptocurrency, but something along those lines that has not been introduced to the public yet, and that is going to end up taking a lot of us out of our comfort zone as well. So just because we have a new moon on one day doesn't mean that it's not trickling into the energies of the month. And this is, like I said, it's starting off this next 18-month cycle with the eclipses in Pisces and Virgo. So you're gonna have to stop being so critical, because we do have the South Node in Virgo. So this is about, not being critical of, all the things that are happening. Just kind of take a detached approach, sit back, and kind of let the chips fall where they may. There's a lot of division right now. Pisces also rules division, and you're seeing that all over. You're seeing anger and people yelling at each other and trying to prove their point, and people who are, again, disillusioned, which is Pisces, that are getting, sold the snake venom. You know what I mean? And we are in year of the snake. We're also in a 9-year, which 9 years says we're at the completion of the cycle. As we go into 2026, it'll be a new year. It'll be a 1 year. 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. Therefore, it breaks down into a 1 number, which is an ace, a 1. And that is all about new beginnings. And being that the snake is shedding its skin at the exact same time, that's what we're talking about with this fiery climax approaching. And being that it is Pisces season, it's the 12th sign of the zodiac. Therefore, with it being the 12th sign of the zodiac, that's the end of the cycle. So we're in a snake, which the snake is shedding its skin. We're in a 9, which is the end of a cycle, and then we're in Pisces, which too is the end of a cycle. And then, Neptune, which has been in Pisces for fucking the last 14 years, is going to be shifting into Aries at this time, in next month, but then it'll go back into Pisces, finish out its stay just to see if you've learned your lesson, and then it will go back into Aries and conjunct Saturn, and that's when we start over. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So again, that's next year. So, the planets are definitely playing a huge role in all of what is going on. And regardless of how it looks on the surface, we have to allow things to be destroyed in order to build a new life for ourselves. We're not in the same place as we've been, you guys. Like, there is no holding on. The only thing you're really going to have is memories. So write them down, write a book, about your life on this earth up until this point, and then what changed. And, because nobody prepares us through all these changes and stuff. So new moon in Pisces, what can they expect in the near future? What is it that this is all about? It says, don't let pride get in your way. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Oh my God, we have the full moon in Pisces right there. Balancing your spirituality and practicality. Virgo is practicality. Pisces is spirituality. Okay. And so you're going to have to be practical through all of this. But again, try not to get caught in a loop. Try not to get caught in a relationship that they're cheating on you, or they're just not good. They're narcissistic or whatever. I think that word gets thrown out quite a bit. That's why I don't usually use it. But in the Pisces house, it very much can be, because it's about emotional manipulation. And also, Pisces rules the past. We just had Mars wake up in Cancer. Cancer also rules the past. So there's a lot of past things that are going to be coming to the forefront when it comes to our government, when it comes to things in our personal life, when it comes to, situations from the past that you thought had just been glossed over. No, those things are going to be coming back up, and like the Epstein list, or, JFK, or, Martin Luther King, or, so all of these secrets can be revealed. And it's going to be very eye-opening, and it's going to be like, some people are not going to want to believe it, because they're like, that's just too much for my brain to handle. Like, I can't, holy shit. And so some people are just going to be angry and hateful and whatever. But again, this is all for a higher purpose. This is all for the higher purpose. I want to read the balancing spirituality and practicality, because it is the moon that we are talking about. And it says, have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this as a sign that you need to pay attention and make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps that you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be the message from the cosmos to drop the act for everyone's sake. Okay? Attuning to the moon says meditate every day and see what comes to you. The answers will come. Once the answers come, it's time for you to make that, make it a reality. Pisces and Virgo axis is as above, so below. Okay? As above, so below. So additional meanings for this card is, you're a super romantic, but not super realistic. Being that we are going to have Mercury and Venus both retrograde back from Aries into Pisces, this is going to bring back people from the past, old lovers from the past, and past life enemies. So I would be very, very mindful about getting into any old relationships or any new relationships, because with those planets being retrograde in Pisces, you don't want to go back to an old cycle that it was time. You've got these cycles. That's what the moon represents. And yes, right underneath that card, it says, what do you need to release? Right underneath that, it says, nothing will come of this situation. And right under that, it says, your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to ending these cycles, stepping out of your comfort zone, not going back to people, places, or situations from the past, but really making a practical effort of like, no, that didn't work for me. I remember what happened last time. Like, don't try to gloss things over, because Pisces, Neptune and Pisces can be the rose-colored glasses that everybody wants to wear because they're too afraid of seeing things for how they really are. They don't want to see the reality of the situation. They want to continue to live in the illusion. So we got to be really, really mindful of that. So it also, and then some, Pisces can also rule being in love with the fact of being in love, and going back to past partners, and then drinking because, they don't want to actually see what's right in front of them that they know is wrong. And I'm not bagging on Pisces, but I've seen this so many freaking times with Pisces that it's just like, and I'm a Virgo, so I see the reality of the situation, and I'm just looking at people like, who ties your fucking shoes? Like, seriously, sober up so that you can see things clearly and not in this facade and illusion that you want things to be. Okay? So it says, follow your intuition. It won't let you down. You intuitively know what you need to let go of. You intuitively know that it's like a no victory without sacrifice, right? And Aries is all about going into the battle, and victory. They go in. I'm an Aries ascendant. I know, I might not be the most popular person for some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth, but I'm willing to go into a burning building and save the people who are in it, regardless of them slapping my hand and going, no, I have a do not resuscitate, DNR. And I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here, like, not on my watch, buddy. So, that's just that. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. Okay. And because we, and I've been talking about this. If you've been watching my earlier videos, like the ones I've done in the last week or two, I've been talking about letting go of some old dreams, okay? Because there are new dreams that are formulating. You just haven't dreamt them yet, okay? And so that's going to take you way out of your comfort zone, because you're going to be like, wow, I can really manifest this? And Spirit says, hell yeah. All you have to have is the strength and the courage and the wherewithal to go after it head on. Stop, going around in circles, circling around. Well, I kind of want it. Well, the universe is saying, like, release all of that. Release those old dreams, because again, these new dreams are going to take you into a whole nother dynamic. So avoid substance abuse. I can't even make that up. And it says this person you're inquiring about is a soulmate. Now, soulmates are not always good. Some soulmates are here to teach us very valuable lessons that feel very, very freaking yucky. Okay. And again, being that we have Mercury and Venus both going into retrograde and coming back into Pisces, this can be a past life enemy. And when Venus isn't well aspected and when Mercury's not well aspected, Mercury's a trickster and Venus can be Medusa. So you don't get yourself into a tricky situation because you want to gloss over and put those rose-colored glasses on and not see things clearly. Because again, Pisces can be that in love with the fact of being in love. Oh, that is my soulmate. I think you need to end some of those relationships. And it really does. It says, avoid substance abuse. Avoid substance abuse. So seriously, avoid substances. It will only magnify at this time. You don't want to be fighting and arguing with people. I personally would not be going back to the past if I were you, but to each his own. Some people, they just need to learn the lesson, and sometimes they just need to, it's like eat or get eaten. You got the lion and you've got the ram here, so eat or get eaten. And so, like, they could both be pretty powerful, but, one or the other's going to win. Either your ego's going to win, because these are also two cards of ego. Well, I'm willing to win at all costs. Don't try to run roughshod over other people to get to the top. Now, Pisces also is the perfect time to start some type of spiritual, like Project 369, or you could be, doing spiritual practices at this time as well. Maybe you want to start a new, like every new moon and full moon, you do a new ceremony. Maybe you want to start going to ceremonies. Maybe you want to get a psychic reading, or you want to learn tarot, or You want to learn astrology, anything that's going to take you kind of out into the ethers. And for others of you, I really suggest delving into your creativity, delving into your painting and gardening and art and music, and being mindful of what kind of music you're listening to as well, okay? Because not all the music is actually good for you. And please remember that it's subliminal messaging. So, if you're already feeling like poo, you're going to end up listening to music that brings you down and keeps you in that vibration. Like for me, I like to listen to music like Lindsey Sterling. I like listening to stuff that doesn't have freaking words, because I have enough words going through my mind. I don't need to hear you talk. I don't need to hear you implant some type of a feeling in me. Like I could be listening to upbeat music and then something sad comes on, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and then something upbeat comes on and I'm like, what the oh, and you start realizing like, holy crap. So be more selective about what it is that you're listening to. Be more selective as to like, these energies and stuff, and don't let your ego get the best of you, your fear get the best of you. If the universe is saying it's time to cut something off, let it cut itself off. Like I said, you're going to hear a lot of news. And again, Neptune and Pisces rules the news, where there's no boundaries and there's a lot of deception, and you're going to have to weed through all of that. What's real, what's not. And like I said, you need to, with Pluto and Aquarius, take a detached approach. And again, just allow the chips to fall where they may. Don't get afraid. Just know that the world is not going to look how it used to look. Like we're in a complete rebirthing cycle to this new world. And that means that it has to break everything down to absolute fucking dust, in order for this new world to be reborn. And listen, you can kick and scream all the way through it if you like, or you can allow things just to happen as they are. Now, unfortunately, we will have people who end up being diagnosed. There could be sudden health issues that come up during this Pisces Virgo eclipses that we're going into, because they both rule health. So my suggestion is, getting on top of your diet, being more organic and grass-fed. If you eat meat, and, going to farmers markets, washing your fruits and vegetables, and just being more mindful of what you're consuming. I know, you guys, it sucks because food has become so freaking complicated, but that's Uranus and Taurus. And until we have that, Uranus and Taurus is showing us all the shit that's wrong with our food, whereas North Node, South Node, and Pisces Virgo is showing us the physical ailments of what we haven't been seeing all along, whether that's vaccines, whether that's, pharmaceuticals, that could be the food that the chemtrails and the things that they're spraying and the things that they're putting in our water, and so it's about like really a lot of awareness in these areas. And this isn't just going away. This isn't like a one and done. This is like literally kicking off the next 18-month cycle. So you're ready or not, here it is. And a lot of what you're going to hear is just going to be mind-blowing. You will see celebrities going down. I can guarantee that. You'll see politicians going down on both sides of the aisle, not just one or the other. Both sides of the aisle. You're going to get a lot of truth bombs. And again, they're going to be mind-boggling, but it has to come to the surface so that we can see it for what it is, so that we don't allow this to happen again in the future. And the only way to get through it is to go through it. The light at the end of the tunnel, it's there, but you have to go through the darkness to see the light. I'm going to leave that there, you guys. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information's in the description box down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel grow. Share this video with someone you know who might need to hear it. I love you guys all so much. Thank you for being here, and we will chat again soon. Take care.